I want to start off this video and keep it a buck with you, keep it real with you. I have sympathy for those of you that are looking to buy, and hopefully I never come off as if I'm looking down my nose at you. But with that said, the way I've been raised, the type of person I am, the way I've raised my children, is that we understand, we assess the situation, and then we make a decision on if we're going to move forward or not. So with that said, I wanted to show you guys a chart. And let me cook here. Give me a minute. Don't go anywhere. This chart is from the Federal Reserve. Some of the economic data as far as housing is concerned that they collect. This is the home ownership rate in the United States from 1970 on up to second quarter of 2023. My point that I want to make with this chart is the lowest home ownership rate percentage wise was in 2016, second quarter 2016, 62.9%. And the highest was the second quarter of 2004, 69.2%. Second quarter of this year at 65.9%. My reason for pointing that out is this: there's never 100% ownership as far as homes are concerned. That's important because some of you that want to buy, when you hear all of the narratives that are out here, it seems like no one is buying. Understand that there's never been 100% participation rate in ownership, and we always have had renters. Moreover, most of the people that you hear lamenting and most of the news media, YouTube and things of that nature, to be honest with you, if you really think about it, it's really geared towards those people that are never going to buy. The people in the stands are always the loudest. We always have to remind you there's reasons behind those things. I was in this business in 2005. The reason that year is important, just to give you a quick history lesson, from Bush 2, big push for home ownership, big push. As a result, there were a lot of products and incentives and government intervention to push home ownership. There were some good things from that, and in hindsight, we could see there were some things that caused problems. And one of those things that caused problems was the very loose lending standards that were going on at that time. You may have heard about adjustable rate mortgages. There were a lot of unscrupulous lenders out here. They would put people in stated income type situations where you could just walk in and say, I made X amount of dollars. There were negative amortization type products, the adjustable rate mortgages, as far as the fixed period, 228s, 327s, the blame was across the board. That's my point. Because of those prior policies that set the stage to create an environment for builders to build a lot of homes and lenders to have the financing available and people that wanted to buy. Now, you have to always go back and look at history. I'll use this chart as an example, but it's a proven fact that birth rates from early 60s to in the early 80s were not as high as the baby boomers. So why that's important is come around 2005 timeframe, that's when these folks that were born in that time frame, say in the 70s, coming up to the 80s, they're getting ready to get into what we call household formation. They might be having kids, leaving their family homes, things of that nature, creating another household partner. So you got to look at that whole entire perfect storm, right? So now you have all these builders building. Supply, surplus. To be honest with you, the stuff really started hitting the fan probably about second quarter of 2006. With me, because you'll see how history repeats itself. So anyway, 2006, stuff starts hitting the fan. They had an imploder meter. They would send out the emails of all the banks that were going out of business. It was hitting the fan and hitting the fan quick. So as you can see, there was just falling off the cliff. Now keep in mind, these builders, because of the policies from 2000, good old Greenspan and President Bush, they were doing their thing. So Obama. He's coming on the scene here pretty quick. And when he comes in, it was right in the middle of the mess. So they had some government programs and things of that nature to try to help folks out. But as far as housing is concerned in the industry, it was taking a beat. And as you can see, as I go down 2011, really 2012, last quarter 2012, first quarter 2013, in my opinion, is when things got better. But as you can see on this chart, this is really outlining the home ownership rate. So you can see there was still a negative effect, that there was a negative stigma as far as home ownership, because a lot of those folks that were speculating, keep that in mind, speculation is a key term, because we got a lot of speculators out here now. But a lot of those folks that were speculating and they had gotten burnt, foreclosed and all this kind of things, home ownership was down. Moreover, the tightening Dodd-Frank qualified mortgage ability to repay, all those things were kicking in. So the pool of qualified buyers got short. It's kind of like it is now. What the interest rates are doing, it washed out the bottom third. So that's some history as to what was going on. So Q3 2006, home ownership rates was at its high, one of its highs. I mean, it's still fairly high here, right? And that's my point. Most people are following the crowd. That's my point. Folks were buying when everybody else was buying. Now we have the ability to look back and say the best time to have bought might have been 14, but fast forward, let's go to 2020. Everybody is at its top again. We're on the way back up. Now, first quarter, March 2020, that's where the stuff hit the fan with the pandemic. Nobody knew it was coming and it fell off a cliff. The best time to have bought over the last 5 years or 3 years would have been first quarter of 2022, when everybody else was saying, don't buy, the sky is falling. What are you saying, Robert? What I'm saying is, if you can afford, what does that mean, afford? You can afford a payment at whatever the interest rates are now. Stop assuming that we're all monolithic, because we're not. Everybody's not destitute. And there's a lot of people that can buy, and that's the ones that I'm talking to, those of you that are on the fence. During the pandemic, when rates were low, I was telling folks ownership is at stake. Buy. But a lot of folks couldn't buy because their income would not allow it. And those of you that could, you were from the mindset of, I'm waiting on all the surplus. But after these builders got demolished during this time with all of the surplus, they've never built enough homes from 2012 coming forward. It's always been a lack. Moreover, if you look at the millennials, are the largest cohort since the baby boomers. So now when you go out 30, 33 years, we right in this time frame now, we right in the mix. 2022 to 2030, you got millions and millions and millions of you millennials, younger and older, getting into household formation. And so the demand is there for housing. I'm talking to those of you that have the ability to. You might not want to now, but you should consider it. You want to get with a realtor that can show you the numbers of where you are. Understand that the rates aren't going to be as high as they are forever, but for right now or until the rates change, I can pay it. I might not want to pay it, but I can. And there's a list of reasons of why someone would want to do that. So just want to give some history, encourage you to look at your specific situation. And if you can afford it, great. If you can't, you have to wait. You have to wait for whatever metric it is that you need to have changed, either sales price, interest rate. But while you're waiting, if you're serious about getting on the property ladder, there's things that you can do while you wait. If this video has brought value, here's my ask. Leave a comment, ask your questions. If I've earned the right, subscribe so you can keep up with us as we drop more content, okay? And if you would like to know a strategy on how you can buy a home nationwide, watch this video right here. And if you want to use that same strategy specifically in Texas, watch this video right here. Peace. Y'all be blessed.